Hello there, Tekno here with yet another video review. As some of you may know, I've recently gotten into a lot of Kamen Rider roleplay stuff from the Kamen Rider Fourze series, ranging from the belts, to the switches that you use in the belts, to the weapons that use the switches. But what if I told you that there was one thing which combined all of these? Yes, a weapon that is switches. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Magphone, which is used for Fourze's, well, it's used for his third upgrade state. Now, the Magphone, as its name suggests, is supposed to be, well, a phone, specifically a cell phone with two Astro switches grafted on, one on each end of the phone, as you can see right here. It doesn't really have, in terms of buttons and stuff, working that keypad right here, but that's kind of not something you would have to expect. It also folds up as well, although you can't really tell if it's a phone once you've done that. But upon opening it up, it is pretty obvious that it's supposed to be a phone. Now, as with all the other Fourze weapons, the Magphone also has electronics. Flipping on both the switches here will turn it on. And both you might be asking, well, there's a perfectly good reason that's both, and we'll be getting to that shortly. But now we have the phone on, and now we can see what functionality it has. We can also check for mail by pressing the top button here. And now we're getting a phone call, so we press this button here to pick it up. You can also just make calls by pressing this too. So as you can see, there's quite a few audio clips in here. And I think I've hit them all now. But even still, there's even more audio clips when you actually get calls. And I'll have to show those off as well, just right now. In order to receive calls on the Magphone, all you need to do is just, well, let it sit and wait. And it'll start ringing after some period of time. And then you just press the button and pick them up. The Magphone is able to receive calls from Yuki, Kengo, and Gentaro, and it's really a neat feature. I honestly did not expect the ability to actually receive the calls whatsoever until I accidentally found out about this. Now, as for the secondary purpose of the Magphone, as I mentioned, it has two on-off switches here, and it also has two Astro switches grafted on here. Interestingly enough, both of them going to opposite poles of the Fourze driver because they're circle and square. So does that mean that there's more functionality to this? Yes, in fact, there is. The two Astro switches split apart, allowing them to be inserted into the Fourze driver. And so, without further ado, it's time to switch on. That's the sound the N magnet makes. And as for the S magnet, As we can see, when the belt has 4 switches in and is fully powered up, when we flip the limit break at this point, this is all we get. And this is because for these magnets, all the sounds are in the switches. None of the sounds are actually in here, it's all just very carefully timed. And in fact, the selection of sounds is now very different. So let's look at this from a belt side point of view. Those are the sounds of moving the weapons forward. And as for triggers, the triggers now serve a different purpose. And last but not least, the limit break, which is triggered by flipping up this little switch on the back here and pressing this button. And now we trigger. That's firing off the limit break. There's no equivalent thing on the S magnet over here. Also, using these in the Meteor belt has no real different effect other than just your standard switch and the fact that these make noise when you insert them. Unfortunately, there's not really anything worth showing there. But I suppose if there's one last thing to show, it's that when you turn them both on at the same time, well, when you do that, it sounds pretty darn cool. And again, you got the purple Kamen Rider here for this particular mode. So, in conclusion, the Magphone, it's a pretty neat accessory, I have to say. I mean, you basically get a couple of joysticks that you're inserting into the belt there, and those let you control guns. Honestly, I really wish that we had more Kamen Rider stuff over in North America, like arcade games and stuff, because let's face it, it'd be awesome to, say, use these as controllers in some sort of really awesome video game. As far as the roleplay accessories go, these are better than Billy the Rod, and with the belt, these are really nice accessories. And if you're a Kamen Rider fan, honestly, if you've got the belt, get these, because they make the belt that much more fun, because now you've got a wearable set of joysticks to control shoulder cannons that may or may not be there in real life. So, with that said, this is pretty awesome, and this is General Tekno signing off.